Okay, good afternoon, folks. Excuse me just a second. I haven't reloaded my data. Bear with me a second. So, what is going on here? Have a look. Okay, Jay, how you doing? Karina, good morning to you. Little Hammer, Exponential. Ionis, how you doing? Hope everyone is well. AK Guru Stream. I don't know about that. Okay, what is going on here? So we've got a channel down. Same again, very low volume overnight. So we did have some news here which seemed to push price down. We've had a couple of attempts to push higher and down to a matching low. Interesting that. I bet there'll have been a few traders caught there for a triple test, pushed up, stopped them out, and then ended up coming down anyway. It's so annoying, that is. So let's see how we get on today. But we have now made a new low. So we've got a channel down there, a break, made a new low already. Whether there's something wider, I don't think, but perhaps we just had another attempt. So it's hard to say where this thing's going to go down or not. Sure, I had a daily here somewhere. Must be that one. Oh yeah, daily. Just looking at the daily. We've had two legs up, so this could come down and retest some of this area down here. It's hard to say at the moment. We had that initial two legs down with all that sort of tariff news, and then things are starting to recover. But there's definitely some support along here. So whether we're having some kind of a pullback, but you can see it there. We kind of bounced here, so it'd be interesting to see how far this thing's going down. That's if it does continue down. You took it for 2 points. You took that one for 2 points, or that one. In fact, did you get 2 points? You may have even got 2 points off that. Yeah, there was 2 points there. I left it because it was still in a channel for me. I was very tempted to take that one, actually, but I left it in the end. Because we'd already had a break in a new low, so I'm thinking be cautious about, shorting just at the moment. But we seem to have a little breakout which failed and then eventually pushed down to a new low. So are we now going to make some kind of other channel down? I wouldn't be surprised. The fact that we'd already broken a new low and we attempted to push up and this thing just didn't have the legs. So whether we're going to do something like that, I would have thought the way we've pushed down again after making a new low, there may be a chance of some sort of bigger channel down. Whether that's the case or not, I don't know, but possibly something like that. It's a bit too early to rely on it, but, I wouldn't be surprised. The fact that we'd already had a break and made a new low and then we tried to push up and we just couldn't. So I wouldn't be surprised if this thing continues down. So I'll put it there just as an area of interest, but not necessarily. But I'm guessing we're probably going to continue down at least for a while. We'll see anyway. Possibly two legs up here, possibly a second entry long. Sorry, short. Very tempting. I'll tell you what I haven't done. There we go. Let's just see if everything's working like it should. Excellent. You've still got to be careful, obviously.
Order cancelled.
I mean, there was a new low there, but then we made another new low. So is this going to continue down? Possibly. I think the better option is a lower high from here if this thing does become bearish. At least volume's picking up a bit now. It's been so slow overnight. Jan, how you doing, bud? Sorry, mate, I didn't see you there. Tony, how you doing? Have I missed anybody? I don't know. Have I? So a little channel with a break new high. A lower high in may be of interest. Channel break new high. Just wasn't very bearish, that. So I was looking for a lower high. I preferred that bearish, but it did work. We had a leg and a leg with a new high. Wanted something a bit bearish. Do I need to rewind to understand why we have a sim account? Signal bar extreme. Do I need to rewind to understand why we have a sim account on the left? Oh, this one here. Excuse me. I just haven't. It's me. Sorry, mate. It's my second account. Let me just. I just haven't done it. That's all.
Order
Sure, everything's
submitted.
working. Why is that green? It's unusual.
Order cancelled.
So,
Order submitted.
Okay, let's click something else.
Order
No, it's just hadn't changed it. That's all. I did. In fact, I did it while it was open. Is anybody else's look different than mine, or shall I reload again? Just as I was literally coming onto the screen, I'd reloaded it. Reload. Okay. Yeah, I did do it, but maybe it didn't like mine. Looks a bit different. Okay, I've just reloaded. Let's see what happens. So the daily looks bearish to me, at least temporarily. So we've got yesterday's lows here. Mr. Great second entry short. Let's have a look. And about that one there. I was looking for a lower high. I was hoping we'd get a bearish bar here. It didn't look any better on my other charts. That Let's have a look. Wow, it did. Damn, you're right. Damn and damn. Yeah. Now that does look attractive, doesn't it? Now that's much better. That is a nice second entry short. Channel break new high. Ah, yeah. Anybody take that, I wonder? Don't know. Yeah, nice that was. Yeah, channel break new high. It's a nice little trade. That it's just a shame. The bar was different before I reloaded. I reloaded as soon as I opened. Strange. It's even just as nice on the second chart. In fact, that second chart is a bit too. Oh no, it's slightly different. Now, maybe that is a better option. Touch, touch, touch. Yeah, that might be a better option if this thing's going to continue down. I like the way it's fitting nice on that midline there and there, so that doesn't look too bad. Looks nice on the middle line, so I prefer that actually. Certainly could do. Yeah, you never quite know where things are definitely going, but it does look like a spike and channel for me. If I look at the daily, the daily's definitely got a bearish feel to it. We've had 2 attempts to push up strong. It's starting to lose momentum there, and we have got support there. So if it's going to turn and come down or pull back or whatever it wants to do, that's where it's going to do it. Now that all of a sudden, look how bearish that's looking now. So I'll be surprised if that doesn't at least attempt to push down. So I have to keep an eye on that. I mean, that's literally just turned over and dropped. So, yeah, I mean, all you can do really is just treat it as you're seeing it. If it's going down at the moment, we're looking for shorts. If it turns back up, we're looking for longs. So that's all you can do, really. Just trade it as you see it. I agree, it could reverse up at any time, but down 100 points. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you had another 100 points down, to be honest with you. The fact that we got this big move down, which is turning into a spike and channel, this thing's looking very bearish. So we'll see, though. We'll see. You never quite know. Another lovely day in the UK today. I think we could hit record temperatures today or tomorrow. I think the current down, short. Yeah, currently, I think the current hottest temperature for this time of year is 29 degrees centigrade. We could break that. It's lovely out there at the moment, absolutely baking. Nearly, it's about 27 degrees where I am for this time of year. That's warm. That's dig your fan out weather, that is. Picked myself up some new suntan lotion yesterday, and I'm going to get out in the garden later, see if I can't crisp up a little bit. The bottom of the large degree trading range. Yeah, you certainly don't. Well, it's funny you should say that. I was just going to draw that. Yes, there is something bigger there, but you know, we've got to use these as well. But yeah, I mean, it wouldn't feel natural taking a short down here. We'd have to get some form of a pullback, a couple of legs. I'm guessing if traders, you know, are trading this, you'd be, I mean, normal process, you'd be taking profits down here, wouldn't you? In fact, I'm going to put that up to the top there because that now is making a bit more sense. Just don't like it when it misses these. Excuse me just a second. Okay, pull back. So, Thomas Wade, what are you looking at? Same as me. Happy days. Okay, so let's just get an order up here
submitted.
just in case. Couple of legs up. There's the first leg up. Excuse me, we've got some news coming up in about 15 minutes, so now I prefer that to push up a little bit more, but it's very close to that midline. And on this bar, I'm going to say there's a higher low, but is there? Do I like that? No, I don't.
Order
Just going to
cancelled.
shut that order down a minute. There's a first leg up this sideways. We need to push up a little bit higher. It's a bit congested. Leg, sideways leg. If we can get up here and get a bearish bar, that wouldn't be too bad.
Order
Let's drop that up
submitted.
there. Just want to put it out of the way. Can't take this, unfortunately. The bar's no good. The signal bar's no good. It is a second entry short, but the signal bar's naff. It's not terrible here on this chart here, but it's a bit congested, so it's a bit dangerous. We didn't quite get to the midline or to the EMA, so that could backtrack up. We see it all the time. We go up, we go sideways, we go up. So if you took a short there, you're in this trade now, and this thing's looking like it may continue and stop you out. So you've got to be careful here. Where's this news? We're a bit away yet. So, stop date. So, if we can get a decent signal bar here, I'd have a go at that. We've cleared out any liquidity there. Signal bar's no good.
Order
Close
cancelled.
We need to get a little bit higher, really, and then drop. To get up here, really. If we can push up here and then drop. Let me just get another order up, just
Order
in case.
submitted.
Leg, sideways leg. If we close here on the line, push up a little bit and then come bearish, we need to trigger above that and then give us a nice bearish bar.
Order cancelled.
No signal bar. It's a bit, my only slight concern is initially I had that bar like that. That looked okay to me. So there is a possibility of an overshoot. So I am aware of that. I think majority of people have got it like that. Sorry, like this. But I'm aware that there may be an overshoot. So I've got that in the back of my mind as well. Just be a bit cautious here. Now, a couple of legs up, I was expecting a bearish bar here. We're clearly struggling to get anywhere, but there's no bearish bar. So I'm a bit cautious about thinking, oh, this is coming down, let's jump in. Because it can go wrong. Because if there is an overshoot, it may come back, test this line, trap in some shorts, and then push up. Because there is some support there, and we have closed on it or slightly above it. So I'm not just going to assume this is going to come down, because if there is an overshoot, which there may be, it could trigger your short here and take us up. The only thing about that other channel is look at the angle. I may be overthinking this, but look at the angle there. I mean, I'm nitpicking here, but do you see what I mean? Look at the angle, the way that's bounced there in a nice, neat line, which would mean this then could possibly be an overshoot. So we'll see. Perhaps it's just me being a bit paranoid. I mean, there's no entry anyway, as I can't see anything on both of my charts. 10,000 tick chart. No. I mean, it's come down, I think, enough, even if traders got in there, it's come down enough to make some profits, or at least get your stop here. So it may just drop anyway, but I think it probably will. It's clearly dropping, isn't it? I mean, it's clearly two legs up. You can't argue about that. Just keep it in mind if you are in this trade. We've got news coming up in about 6 minutes, so just keep that in the back of your mind. Okay, just noticed someone else put that as well a few minutes ago. When was this? 9 minutes ago. So that's kind of was in the back of my mind as well, because if you get two legs up, you go short, it triggers you and pushes up. That's the only one I can see. I'm not saying it is. Thomas Way's got that. I'm not saying it's definitely an overshoot, but I think it's worth just keep it in the back of your mind. So, little bullish bar there, triggered, stopped out. Another little bullish bar there. That's been triggered. Is this coming down some more? I'm guessing it probably will break these lows. Two legs up, clearly coming down at the moment. So I'll be surprised if it doesn't break that low, especially as you've got a second entry long there. You won't want to go long there. So it's kind of like a failure, isn't it? But, you know, that's no good. And you don't really want to go short into this, especially when news is coming up. So no move really. So we got 2 legs down here and a bullish bar, which is holding at the moment. So a second entry short up here, leg and a leg, wouldn't be a bad option. But we've got news coming up in 4 minutes, so that doesn't look like it's going to be an option. But we've had a leg down, a couple of legs up wouldn't be a bad option for a short. So leg down, break, new low, back to the EMA. As I say, you wouldn't want to take a long there, would you? It's completely in the wrong direction, so it triggers and then eventually drops. So it takes that out, takes it out. So it's a shame, really, we didn't get a bearish bar here, because it'd been a nice move down there. But unfortunately, I've got it on none of my charts. I mean, that is a kind of textbook kind of 2 legs in it. Leg up, 2 attempts to go lower, leg up. That's where you want to be looking for a short. And granted, it is a little bit, above the EMA. Ideally, you want a bearish bar here, really. But, I mean, it did what you kind of expected it to do. Unfortunately, just no way in for us. Certainly not on my chart. And then textbook, 2 legs down. Trapping maybe a few longs there and a few longs there on the way down. Give it the momentum. You can't really, can you? As tempting as it is to jump in there, and I'd have done it plenty of times in the past, and some traders will do it 2 legs back and they'll just jump in, maybe put their stop up here and profit down here and go for 1-to-1. But we kind of keep a tight stop, so you can't just sell there really thinking it's going to come down. I suppose it depends how you trade, really. You could jump in here, put your stop up here, and there's your profit, 1-to-1, or maybe even lower if you wanted to. So depends how you trade. But from a Pat's point of view, that's the trouble with Pat's. We're relying on one bar to fall right, and if that doesn't fall right, the whole trade's knackered. But you can clearly see it's losing momentum, and whenever it does that, generally it tends to pull back. And after 2 legs up, where's it going to pull down to? Down here, you think? Taking out maybe a few stops here, and a couple on the way. Okay, so news coming up in 1.5 minutes. Congestion in the middle of the channel to wait till it got back up the key entry point. Yeah. See, another one there, it didn't trigger, but we see this all the time. We go up, we go sideways, we go up. It's just 2 legs up, but we pushed up. And you could see, really, we had 2 little attempts to go, and then it just took off. Usually when you get that, if you can get a nice big bearish bar up here, it's usually, I think if the picture's nice and we're in a downtrend, those are the ones to really hold on to. I mean, if you got in here, even down to the lows, this 14 points. But I mean, even if you sort of leave it there and then go to that swing and then go to that swing, once it starts to go down here, I tend to follow it. I say that I tend to follow it. I rarely hold on to a trade because I don't necessarily see anything good enough, but there's 20 points there easily. If you follow it down, lovely little move, 20 points. Just thinking, oh yeah, that ATR, I expected that ATR to be a bit higher. So yeah, it's a shame really that we didn't get something, because that would have been, really nice looking, clear 2 legs back in a downtrend. That's the place to short, but no dice, unfortunately. So news is coming up in about 10 seconds. So we got medium and high, core CPI and Penn Homes. So with both those news, I expect a little bit of a flutter. One big bar, that's about your lot. So, bottom of the channel, we didn't get down there. Now, in a lot of cases, that can lead to a break. So, or at least pulling back up here a little bit further. It depends. Sometimes it'll come down again and get a little bit further away, and then we'll get the break. But I expect a possible break here. Won't take that one. It's in this channel, and if it is a small break, which it looks like, it may come back a little bit and then push up again, or whatever it's going to do. But we clearly got a small break here. I mean, you could tighten that and technically say we've had a break and a new high, but I wouldn't want to get in here. It's a little bit congested here, and if this is a break after such a reasonably large channel down, I'd expect a little bit more than that and then straight down. So I wouldn't expect this thing to come straight down. I'd expect, maybe based on what I can see, possibly even something like that. I'd expect more than just that. Feels like a trap. Yeah, going short. I mean, sometimes it just works. Technically, we have had a break, but you know, if we get a small break like that and it comes down, it's usually because there's a bigger channel, and I can't see that there's a bigger channel at the moment. There may be. Doesn't kind of work, does it? Sometimes it will just work, but usually something like that, it's just too early to get in. But maybe there is going to be something slightly different, or sideways, or what. Who knows? So lower high there, got to be careful. So I'd expect something like that. So yeah, if you took that lower high, triggered you, and stopped you. Channel break, new high, big bearish bar, lower high. Now, not the worst setup in the world, but the context is wrong. Small break like that doesn't usually just push straight down, so I guarantee there'll be traders in there. Unfortunately, it's frustrating when it does that, but you do learn, don't you? So I'd expect at least another attempt to go higher. And now we're just stacking up, which is good. That's what we want to see, really. Push up, a little bit of stagnant, maybe a drop out the bottom, quick push up to the top somewhere, maybe test this area, 2 legs up, and then slowly work down. So I'd like to see that get stopped out just to pick off liquidity. I wouldn't want to take a short just here, not with that there, because it may trigger your push up. That's not a strong position for me, so I'd say that's likely to get cleaned out first before this thing does start to move down. That's if it does, of course. So I think that's a risky trade. It is a second entry short, but with this up here, market's going to go up there. For me, more likely going to go up there and clean that out because it's not a strong position. But I get there's going to be some traders who take that. It is a second entry short. You know, we are expecting a new low, but it's just frustrating there. You know, they say the market's not out to get you. Don't take it personally. You can't help but feel personally when you take that, which is a second entry short, and it triggers you, stops you out. But I used to get caught out in them all the time. It used to flipping frustrate the hell out of me. There's nothing worse than being. That's what, in the end, why I started giving it an extra tick, because there's nothing worse than getting taken out for a tick. And then the market goes in the same bloody place. I expect this to break down here and then try to go up again. Yeah, it is. The simple answer is when it's doing this, you've just got to refrain from taking it. On the odd occasion, depending on my patience is, I still get caught in these just once in a while. Not as much as I used to. But sometimes these are readable. I wouldn't say this is. You can clearly see there's two little pushes up here. So you could argue there is a setup there. But because it's choppy and you're not sure whether we're going to make this second leg, that'd be super risky. And it is frustrating. That's why I started doing the extra tick thing. Because I got fed up with taking it like this and then one tick and then it ends up coming down. Nothing worse than losing a trade just by the sake of $12.50. It's infuriating, but you get used to. After a while, you know, we all hate to lose trades, but, you know, when you're learning, it's a really good lesson, these are. They do teach you where not to get out there, but I expected it to push down here and then push up for a second leg and clean anything else out, and that one especially. So if we can get above there and maybe find something short here, that's where I'll be interested in looking for something. But not until it takes out that for me. That will give us that second leg. So a little break out the top. If we can push up a little bit more, there's going to be traders looking to long that, I think. Yeah, we've pushed up, tried to go low. Let's go up. But you've got to get above here for me. And ideally, maybe find a bit more support with a bearish bar. That will give us that kind of couple of legs. I would prefer to get, yeah, I was going to say, I prefer to get up a little higher. In an ideal world, clear this out. I can't see. There may be some liquidity up here. You can see it's losing momentum, so a lot of traders may see strong move up, losing momentum, and they're expecting to come down. So if that can push up there and clean that out, I think there's less chance of you getting trapped taking a short here. If it doesn't, I'd want to wait for the lower high. You know, in a lot of occasions, I'd be interested in taking that because it's clearly two legs up. But while there's this liquidity sat there, it may just stop you out, push up. Sorry, trigger you, push up, stop you out and clear out this. Second entry short. I still like it to break above this. Trouble is, there may be a second entry short. It might not look terrible. My only issue is we've pushed up and gone sideways, so it's unfortunately a bit congested. I really want it to break above here. If it breaks above here, then that would interest me in going short there. Or at least have a good go. It's not far off. Just zoom out a minute. I'd feel much better about shorting knowing that this wasn't there anymore. Any liquidity above here. There's bound to be some. You know, not from a Pat's point of view, but 2 legs back clearly worked then. So there's bound to be a bit of liquidity up here. So while this is still lingering, I'd be hesitant as to take a short here, knowing that it could still push up and clear that out. We're not far away there. There we go. That might clean some out. So that would be close to a measured move as well. Let's have a look. That will help as well, not quite. But we've taken out any liquidity that I think's there. The rest will be up here. I can't see that working up there. Okay, that's more or less a measured leg, so we want some sellers to come in there, really. So 2 legs up. Hey Speedy, how you doing, buddy? Just finished work. What do you do, mate? What do you do? Still trying to go higher, that thing is. Okay, bearish bar. Lower high will be interesting. I'm getting trained up to be a manager in a warehouse and logistics. I got you. You're in Bulgaria. Excellent. I got the job 2 weeks ago. Good on you, mate. Bulgaria. I got another trader buddy from, is he from Armenia? It might be Armenia, actually. Bulgaria. Do you know what? I think I went to Bulgaria once when I was at school skiing. Does that sound about right? That's a while ago. Okay, so we're not really losing momentum here. Yeah. Well, there is a bearish bar there and it's triggered. And where's this thing going? Yeah, it's pushing up, going sideways, pushing up, going sideways. It's not, doesn't look like to me like two attempts to push higher. We need a lower high really, or a fairly below that EMA before we get in here, because you just don't know. But I mean, there's a fair size move down. Two legs up. I mean, we're just above a measured leg really, so still feasible it could come down. So that bearish bar held. So I would prefer a lower high, I think. I mean, if this thing does come down here now, that's the safest place for your stop, isn't it? Right at the high point. So we get a lower high here. A lower high might trap some bulls there and at least get us back to the EMA. Go on, push up. Okay, there is a lower high in my second chart. Flickery, flickery. I don't like it when it does that. Yeah, there is a lower high here, but it's a bit stacked up. Then it's going to form anyway, so that is not what I expected. This isn't looking like it's coming down to me. Let's have a look. Mind you, it is a big move. We could, do something like that. And then that, and then sort of down. The bigger the channel, sometimes the bigger this move. So although it looks drastic and looks like maybe reversing, it may still do something like that. Just got to leave it as it is though, really. There's not much we can do at the moment. Let's see if I can find some sort of channel that may work. Not a massive fan of that. Oh, excuse me. Come on. .1 fib line, that second leg down. Curious, we'll reject. Yeah, it's a bigger move down than you think, isn't it? So perhaps we may get a big pullback. Are you on about from here, are you? Okay, just a second leg, not the, yeah, okay. Excuse me, just a second. I'm just going to pour myself a drink. Okay. Cheers, everyone. Rum cask Jura. Right. Dan's got that chart as well. Happy days. Have a look. So he's looking to me like that. We've already had a break. Tell a lie, it's that one, isn't it? So that. Not sure about that. On Dan's chart, I'll bring it in. I can't see a channel down. It's big. I can't see a channel down here. So whatever I'm looking at, that and he seems to be a bottom, so he's got this moving up like it's a channel. So the fact that it's gone past 2 legs is making me think it may continue up. It doesn't look like 2 attempts to push out. We push up, we go sideways, we push up, we go sideways, push up, we go. It's looking like a channel up. Now, I could be wrong. Be interesting to see what happens when it gets here, but I'm not sure. I mean, this, even if we got that, it continues down, so there's some kind of channel there. I mean, maybe it's just as simple as is. I suppose you could take that up a little bit, maybe there. Let's have a look. That doesn't look too bad. Perhaps it's a break. New low, and we just push down for, oh, I don't know. Who knows? Probably going with a bigger channel, tighter short-term trend off for the range. Yeah, someone else has got that like that. Okay, 10,000 tick chart. So maybe we got a break. I don't know is the answer. I mean, the way that was coming down, it's not super clear. But it's going up like a channel. Okay, so Marco has got no, Marco's got it like that, I think. Yeah, Marco's still got that. It doesn't look terrible. And then it moving up. So, I mean, sometimes it'll just turn. I mean, what I will say is there's a break of a channel, and it has made a few attempts to go lower, so perhaps it just hasn't got the legs. My current is uptrend working from midline. Touch flatter than mine. Let's have a look. In fact, I may even be able to do that. Yeah, that looks okay. That's better. So yours is like that. Marco's is as well, actually. Yeah, I didn't quite have it to the bottoms, and now I've got it touching here and here. It is pushing up, but yeah, he's got that same as mine, as well, same as I had it. He's got a small break, 2 pushes or 2 attempts to make a new low. We've had a leg down and a leg down. It just couldn't get lower. So, I mean, you know, on the odd occasion, it doesn't. Or what it might do is come up, go a little bit sideways, mess around. I mean, what I will say is if you go from the highs of the day, even if you use that fib tool from the highs of the day and put it to the lows of the day, we could still come up 50% of this move. It could come up, pull back, make a couple of other attempts and still come down and make a new low. So, you know, sometimes things just, you know, with a channel like that, you'd expect it to have a couple of legs up, maybe go a bit sideways and then find its way. But this seems to continue up. But who knows, in all fairness. You know, I'd certainly be interested in this area here. This was the first kind of little bit of congestion or sideways. So, you know, if it continues up, if it's going to pull back or do something, this area between 38 and 50% is kind of where you'd expect it to. You know, if it's going to happen, there'll be liquidity here, and there's bound to be some there as well. So, who knows? I mean, this is, call it an educated guess, nothing more really. So let's just put that accurate down to there and keep that tight to there. And at the moment, things still fit. So, yeah, Thomas Wade's got the same thing there. Right, it's kind of how I had it really, but I messed around trying to adjust it just to see if, but we did have a break. We tried to go lower and we couldn't, so maybe this thing is just having a good attempt to push up and seems to have some legs at the moment, but this is kind of the area where I'd expect it to find some support somewhere around about there. It's got above there a little bit, but if it's going to make a bit of a pullback, and not just that, we maybe get an overshoot now. If it pushes up to here, this I certainly would consider that an overshoot. So then I'd expect a deeper correction or something. Okay, lower high there. After an overshoot may come back. I'm not taking it though, but it does look like a lower high. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that come down the EMA, but I'm not taking this. That's not my strong point, really. Could be a bigger range. Yeah, I certainly could be. You know, this, yeah, certainly could be. Chad, I don't have to adjust channel much, as in, you know, you've got no overshoot. Actually, Thomas Wade's just changed his to there. And then to there. I actually prefer that. Looks better, doesn't it? Is that something that you've got, Chad, is it? So touch at the top, touch at the top, touch, touch, touch. Yeah, it doesn't look that bad, does it? It's, you know, sometimes it just takes a bit of time to develop these. That's why I like having a Discord that I can look at. You guys can see my channel, see, so you've got something to compare yours with, but I haven't. And that's kind of like the fact that I have there, because Thomas has got that. It looks nice, actually. So it's worth trying. I don't know what Dan's got. Okay, so Dan's got both, actually. So he's got the best of both worlds. So he's got that tight one, which we're looking at here, and he's got the larger one anyway. So the larger one, it hasn't had an overshoot yet. So yeah. So 2 legs back, second entry long off here. Wouldn't be the worst trade in the world. We've just got to trade it as it is. There is kind of a failure there. There's bound to be some long strap there. So this is looking like it's probably going to be bad. I generally don't take these in, even if I thought it was, because it'd be counter trend trading for me. But if you like that, just back to the EMA. I'm just no good at this type of thing. So it's possible there's an overshoot. It's hard to say. I like seeing yours in real time. Yeah, it's good to look at someone else's chart, because if you're not sure, sometimes, you know, a little bit of a change may, you know, sometimes you think, oh yeah, I like that. Like I didn't think of that one, to be fair. I was looking at something larger. So I was kind of looking at that. So that would be an overshoot. And it's funny, after that, we did kind of go sideways. So you'd expect to come back to the EMA. But Dan has almost kind of got something like that. So he's kind of adjusted it. So I think there's kind of 2 going on there. So second entry long, possibly. It's a tick off at Doge. It's no good. Could come down for a second leg, may go up. Toss of a coin for me, that is, whether it goes up or down. It's at the fell second entry long. Yeah, I don't think it was the worst trade in the world. It's clearly struggling to go anywhere. You'd expect it to come back the EMA. I did look at the lower high, then we had this push up, but it's not one of my strong kinds of trades that I get. They're a bit hit and miss, I find, when I take them. So, I was expecting some kind of a pullback here. But I would expect it to break these highs and test this area. Let me just put this back a minute just to see what this is showing us. So I'm going to leave that there just because I want to know if there is a larger channel, whereabouts are kind of where we are. So a little channel there with a break and a new low. Depends how you look at this. I mean, there could well be an overshoot. And that may have caused that, followed by that. It kind of would make sense, actually. In fact, I'm going to leave them both there. That channel may mean that we have a break and a push up to a new low. That overshoot could mean we just break over this side a little bit, or we could have a deeper, bigger correction, or I don't know is the answer. So on Marco's chart, he would have that as an overshoot. He's got that quite tight here. So trouble is, if there's any uncertainty, it can change how your trade works. I mean, that's interesting. It is a leg. Channel down with a break and a new low. Let's see if we can get something higher, a higher low. Trouble is, if it is an overshoot, we could get a correction either like that and like that, which may mean it traps some longs and then comes down for a second leg. So if there is an overshoot, we could get a steeper correction. Could do something like that. It's not an overshoot. Widen your channel and see if prices does react to the midline. It's hard to say, really. If I kill that, it kind of does, but it goes through it. If I think it's an overshoot, I'll assume it's an overshoot and stay out of a long ear, because if you get it wrong and an overshoot, it can come down and sting you. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say touching. So I think there may be an overshoot. But overshoot sometimes will just get a bigger correction. But this to me looks, I just want to assume it is, which means I'd expect anything here to get stopped out. So I'd expect a deeper correction. If it gets below here, for me, it's more likely an overshoot. But I don't know, everyone's slightly different. If I've gone from the bottom to here, it does look like a bit of an overshoot. We have gone below there, so I'd expect a little bit more. We've got a channel with a break and a new low and a move off there. But the fact that it's triggered and come back down is telling me it's more than likely an overshoot. But, you know, everyone sees these things ever so slightly different. You know, if I look on here, he's got it as a small overshoot. He's kind of left the larger channel. Thomas is thinking about the smaller channel, which does work. Now, there's that bullish bar there. So there will be an overshoot there. There's Thomas's again. So it's hard to say. There's Marco's chart, but Marco's chart is finishing there. So by the time we have this, that will be an overshoot on his chart. So it's one of those things. Sometimes if things are a little bit clear, I think sometimes if you're not sure, assume the worst. So if we had an overshoot there, I'd expect a deeper correction, and we seem to be getting a deeper correction. So I think if you're not sure, assume the worst, and stay out of the next kind of entry. So that looks more like a correction. Let's see what happens here. But you know, it can result in a reversal as well. Overshoots can. So there's always a possibility this thing may come down a bit more or turn, or who knows. You know, I've still not forgotten the idea that after this move down, we could continue down and make a new low. So this just may be part of the process. Trend line working down has me thinking short still. Yeah, I'm a bit on the fence here. So that looks a bit like a correction. It's not the best looking correction, but then we've moved up strong. So looks like we're pushing up. Trouble is this. What do you do? What do you do? You take that, could trigger you and then come down. Blue light. I don't see how it can really. Looks a little bit better on here, but the trouble is we've had this move down. We're at the EMA or slightly below, so it could trigger and come down a little bit more. I mean, ultimately, you never know. And if we did know, I mean, we could do something a bit more like that. Ultimately, you never know. And if we did know, we'd all be making a fortune. So it's just one of them things, isn't it? You know. Well, we take very little trades, really. And you didn't even get a higher low. The thing just took off. Yeah, Dan didn't take anything here. It's nothing to take, really. I mean, if I was on an evaluation, would I have a go at that? Yeah, why not? So, finding a bit of support there, which kind of makes sense. So, now move up. Are we getting 2 legs down before a continuation? It is filtering all the crap out, isn't it? And waiting for something obvious. And if you can do that, I'm trying. Every time I trade now, I try and... You guys have seen the trades where there's no uncertainty. You just think, I love that. And you can't get in quick enough. I'm trying to wait for those trades. And I'm trying not to have to think or count. I'm trying to sort of let the market say to me, here's one for you. You know the type. We don't get a lot of them, in all fairness. Now, with this push down and channel break new low, I think that's a really nice trade. Unfortunately, it didn't look good. Then I redid my reloaded my data, and that looks beautiful. I can see MAC 100% marking that little channel with a break, new high, triggered above, confirm this kind of area, big bearish bar. There's bound to be longs stuck in here, so you'd expect that to come down to at least the bottoms. Unfortunately, I mean, look, there's 6 points comfortably down to the lows. It's just one of those things, you know, for whatever reason. Same again, nice move up. You expect this to come down. It did, but it just didn't give us any offerings. But there you go. It is what it is, isn't it? Sometimes it just, well, I don't know. I think it's waiting for something that makes you want to take a trade as opposed to going, that looks like it's doing this or that. You know the types. So big channel up, 2 legs back. This would be a penguin kind of a setup if we get down here somewhere. Maybe something larger there. It's a bit early at the moment. Need a nice bull bar. Down here somewhere, 2 nice legs back and then some kind of a move up. Ideally as low as we can, just in case this thing decides to range. We don't want to jump in here and get triggered and then stopped out and then the thing bounces in, rockets off. Well, yeah, I'd be thinking about penguin taking it if it gets down here somewhere, because that is this type of move, a big move up like that, 2 clear attempts to push a lower. So sometimes I've noticed his legs aren't always kind of equal. But I wouldn't expect him to take it there, down here somewhere for me. But if you noticed, he used to wait for the move above and then jump in above that EMA. In a lot of cases now, he jumps in here, puts his stop down here to give it some space. Obviously depends on where it is, where the trade is. He'll jump in there and put his stop down here just to give it any extra little room in case it does decide to break down and clear some of this liquidity out. And then he's taking his profit. I've noticed he's trading slightly different. That kind of makes a bit more sense rather than waiting for it to push up. But yeah, he does it slightly different now. Trouble is, with max setups, there's no room for error. Tick goes 1 tick beyond the signal bar. If you've read something wrong, you're doomed. We've got no extra space. So leg and a leg, is that going to take us down here? NQ has a new high, is it? Yeah, see, that to me is a nice fluid move up with a pullback and possibly a second pullback. To which case I think it's likely then going to retest this level here, but I'm on a second leg down here, really. At least get down here in an ideal world. Let's maybe that second leg down, hopefully. Something's froze. Can't move nothing. Oh, it's doing this more and more. My Ninja Traders froze. How long have I been trading? Will be nearly 4.5 years, I think. Nearly 4.5 years. My charts just froze. I'm just going to have to restart this. That's if it'll let me shut it down. Bear me a second. It's froze. Oh, it's doing this. Oh, my God, it's annoying. Bear me a second. Close all windows. It's not letting me shut down Ninja Trader. I might just have to quickly shut my system down. I can't see how there's any other way of doing it. It's froze. Okay, I'm going to have to quickly shut down my system. Try Task Manager. What do I do? I don't know what I do. What do I do? I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. It's just froze. I've just opened. I've just changed it from. What do I do? I've just changed it from the 10,000 tick chart to the 3,000 tick chart, and it's just froze up. Type Task Manager. Oh, there it is. So look. Task Manager. What do I do? Should do. It's a where's my CPU thingy? I think I've done that. I right click it here, can I? Where's my performance? CPU is using about 20% of it. It shouldn't do. It's not a slow CPU. It's a Ryzen 7 3800X. So let's have a look. Right click Ninja Trade and force close in the drop down menu. You're about here or on the process list. Right click and what I put. End task. End task. Okay, that worked. Excellent. Cheers, guys. I didn't know that. Let me just do this again. Yeah, it has. It's worked. Yeah, I might have to. Sometimes you do get corrupt files. Just once in a while, it does this. Usually, I just I email. Yeah, it's working now. I email support and they say go into this file, delete it, or clear this out, or something like that. And it works. So let's bear me a second. It's all right. I wanted to just have a look at the 3000 tick chart. Okay, so So 32. 2. Just set up my so 2 legs back and a big move up. So we've got a break, 2 pushes to a new high. Is this thing coming down? It's certainly hitting a level here, isn't it? Unless we're finding some sort of a channel here. second entry long down here. Yeah, it doesn't look terrible. 2 legs back. We've actually had a break. We've made a new high here, so I'm just a bit cautious about looking at longs. Depending on what we were seeing, this is kind of the area I'd expect it to rebound off if that's what it's doing. Take a break and let it sort itself out. What's going on, Jay? You having problems here, mate? So let's get that channel back to where it was. So we've had a break. I attempted a new high, 2 legs back and then a new high. Just pop that on there. Okay, let me just check everything's working.
Order submitted.
Yeah. Okay.
Order cancelled.
Okay. We've got a max chart now. So yeah, he hasn't got a larger channel down there, and he's got that tighter channel there with a break. So yeah. So he's got that. Down to there, which kind of makes sense. Separate little channel there. Channel break, new low. He's got that running from there. Kind of did that, didn't we? And then we put the second one on. So we've just got a break and eventually push up. Attempted a new high, 2 legs back, and up we go. So, what support again? We've been up here once, second time. This is the third time lucky. So we got a break. 1, 2 pushes up to a new high. First attempt and a second attempt to push up. Yeah, we've managed to get above there. Yeah, there's definitely some stops there. You can see that, can't you? Big move down like that. Expecting a second leg maybe. So through them with a bit of vengeance. Just shot up about 5 points, didn't it, at least? Okay, I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break. Just make a quick cup of tea. It's just Same again, it's another kind of weird day, isn't it? It's a shame that I'd probably have had a go at that. But my Ninja Trader had froze, so I might have to drop an email actually and reset it or whatever we do. I can't remember anyway. So I'm going to take a few minute break, make a cup of tea, and I'll be back. Oh no. Beautiful little second entry I missed there. Oh my God. I'd have jumped all over that. Oh. Lovely little trade there. That's frustrating. How far did it go? Oh, certainly got 3 points. No problem whatsoever. Took that to the top. That's a shame. Nice little trade, that. Clearly continuing on up. That's a shame. We're above this now. I'd have no problem with taking that one. Oh, that's frustrating when you see that, isn't it? Especially when you just come back from a break. Oh, well. Darn. There's definitely something larger going on there, isn't there? 2 legs back and off this line, something like that, maybe. Anybody else looking at that channel? Thomas Wade has got it from there. I can live with that. Did you trade full time? No. Only for the last sort of, I'd say probably 18 months, actually. Something like that, bud. Yeah, good little trade that. Can't see an issue with that. We're bouncing off support as well. 2 little legs back. Not a massive risk, I don't think, was it? What's that ATR like? 4.6. Not a terrible. It's not a big bar, is it? Tick above, tick below, 4 1/4. It's not terrible. I mean, you could have got in on a limit order if you wanted, couldn't you? 3.5 points, but yeah. Yeah, it's funny you should say that, mate. I was just reading that one. Was waiting for the higher low. I've got to say, if trades are going to go wrong for me, they're second entries. What I will say is we've got a little bit of sideways, so we've gone down, across and down, and we've touched the EMA also. But what I like about it is we've bounced off support twice and back here as well. So I'd take that. Sometimes I avoid second entry longs. But I'd have had a go at that one because I think that was worth a take. But yeah, I think out of a lot of the trades I do, sometimes they can be the least reliable. I mean, we've got 2 legs back here, but we're under the EMA. At least there we've bounced off it. So that's a plus for it, I think. Anything that's above the EMA tends to be a little bit more reliable. But typical, isn't it, when you go for a break? I mean, it's kind of a nice little setup, that, isn't it? It looks nice. Clearly 2 legs down, across and down. Clearly 2 legs back. It's a nice little setup. Let's mark that blue. Yeah, you'll mark that for sure. It's not a massive risk. It's slightly under ATR. So worth a go. Market blue. I've been trading past 7 years. Head and shoulders pattern, shoulder, head, shoulder. Yeah, it does a bit, doesn't it? An inverse head and shoulders. There's a mini one here as well, isn't there? And then a kind of a larger one, shoulder, head, shoulder. Yeah. Yeah, shame there. I would have had a go at that one, purely because, I mean, we tend to, where we find support can be resistance then, can't it? Or where we find resistance can be support, and that's exactly what that was. We bounced once there, bounced a second time, dropped below it, and then closed above it on top of this, and there as well. So you put that up a bit there, it's still sitting there at the right place. So that I would have had a go at. I don't always do those, but it's clearly not a channel down. It's clearly a leg, sideways and a leg. It's clearly two legs. It's just, I just had to come back here, unfortunately, when the move had gone. But what can you do? Yeah, it does. It's like you say, Alfredo. They've been trading Pat to, what did he say, 7 years. So there's all sorts of levels here, and it is good to chat with other people and get ideas and get thoughts. You know, I've always been told you learn better when you're with a lot of other like-minded people, or surround yourself with people you want to be like, which is kind of what we do. I was antsy to do something. God, you know, you sound like when you use that word. What's his name? What's the two guys' names? He uses that word, doesn't he? Not Chin, the other one. Riley Coleman. I think he's changed his process a bit. He goes for bigger moves now, doesn't he? So you've been trading Pat 7 years. That's quite a while, that, isn't it? I think probably you've been doing it as long as people like Dan. Not sure how long Marco. I know Marco and Dan were there when I first started. I think Marco, Dan, Jope. Is it Israel, another one? There was a bunch of them. Yeah, I started Pat's be 4 years next month. Yeah, we don't get a lot of setups that kind of look as clean as that now. Could that be better? Yeah, I suppose so. It could be this. The bottom of that bar could be snug on top of that. That would make it a little bit more perfect. But I think it's plenty good enough to take. Didn't Brant say it took a bit of time? Sometimes they do, don't they? To pull the trigger is a great asset. Yeah, absolutely. I do tend to be, I think, overcautious sometimes. Sometimes I almost talk myself out of it. I probably pick too much detail. I mean, there's risk in everything, really. I mean, you could, depends how you're looking at this, but we clearly 2 pushes up to a new high. We come back, we go a bit higher. We come back, we go a bit higher. So it looks like it's pushed off, clear this out, and then bounced off support. So for me, that would be, if I was going to say a 10 out of 10 would be perfect, I'd say that's probably a reasonable 8. You know, if it was on here as well, that would make it a 9. If it was snugged right under there as well, do you get perfect setups? Not as many as you used to, but I think, you know, an okay setup is a lot better if you're reading the markets right. And I like the fact that we had a strong move up there. We cleared out liquidity, and you could see we did because that bar shot up, and then we had 2 bounces on top of support, and it did come back down and then push up. So I think that was a good 7 out of 10. I think maybe even an 8. You'd expect them to 8 times out of 10, maybe even a bit more. I don't know, but it's not perfect, but it's not far off. It would be 9 out of 10 if that bar was sat on top of there. 10 out of 10 if this was in line with this, and the context or the channel was clearer. I mean, I've got it like that at the moment. It doesn't look terrible, but it's not the best channel. So we don't really get many what I call 10 out of 10 trades. Very, very, very rarely, I think. Did we ever? I don't know. I seem to remember when I started this 4 years ago, trading Pats, I seem to remember more setups, but perhaps it was just because I had no reason to not take a trade. Now, obviously, I've learnt 4 years of chart reading, and I'm finding more and more reasons to not take them. A higher low is always a safer bet, yeah. I mean, Mac will mark that blue, I've got no doubt. But you know, it is pushing up 2 legs back. We get a push move as Thomas Wade's. We get a push move and a correction. We get a push move and a correction. We get a push move and a correction. So it's giving us all the right signals. So it's one of those things, isn't it? But yeah, you know, there's reasons to maybe not take that. But what I do like is it's bounced on top of there. So that makes it a bit more safer. What did it look like on my other? On this chart, it looked okay. In fact, there was a bigger stem and it actually touched it there. So what was it like on the 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, this is the 3000 tick chart. Doesn't look much different from here, but that was the trade there, 2 legs back. That was kind of similar in a way, 2 legs back, but we're under the EMA. But yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? It's subjective, isn't it? Oh, I hate it when I do this. You bastard. Excuse me. I hate it. How do I do this again? I hate it when I get it stuck in between monitors. Oh, is it control window down or something? Window arrow down. Has that got rid of it? Where's it gone though? Right back in the same bloody place. How do I get that down, folks? I can't remember. It happens to me about once every 3 months. I've got the top of this chart in between monitors. How do I do it? You guys let me know. Sure, isn't it? Control Windows and arrow down, or drag or something, is it? Yeah, control Windows and drag. No. Tell you what. It's that one, isn't it? If I just shut the thing down, that'll do. Yeah, 80 points since the downtrend there. Thinking that we may come down. I mean, it could still come down. It wouldn't want to get much higher though, would it? So from the highs, we've pulled back just above that 61.8. So take profit trader. Yeah, I'm going to have some of those next, I think. I prefer them my funded. I'll tell you what I might have a go at as well when I get a bit more money is Tradeify. You are paying yourself in, really. They're not cheap, but if you can trade, I don't think they're a bad option. I'm going to Tradeify soon, yeah. I was looking this morning, actually. I think for the 150 account, I think it's 340. You get 40% off, I think, initially. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Bollocks. You can't trade other accounts at the same time. They won't let you for some reason. I don't know why. I've never tried Bottlenocks. There's always something about it I don't like. Top Step as well. The Top Step have had a few rule changes. You can't with Bottlenocks, they won't let you trade with other prop firms. So whereas with Apex, I could trade another prop firm on Tradeovate. So they won't let you do it. I don't know why. It's you're losing customers. Surely it doesn't make sense. I can only trade bottlenecks. Yeah, you can't trade them with others. It's the one thing that differs them from everyone else. I don't quite know why. So it depends how you trade. I mean, if you're taking loads of trades in a day, then you could trade it separately. I suppose it's a major issue, but yeah, I think I've gone off my fund of futures for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, I might have a go at some. Like if I get a reasonable paycheck at the end of this month, I might get myself 2 or 3 of the Tradeify accounts. I kind of like the idea of you straight in. Overshoot, possibly, yeah. It's hard to know whether there's another channel of some sorts here. There could be. I mean, it could be like that, couldn't it? That doesn't look bad. That doesn't look terrible either. So, stuff on there. Thomas Wade's got it from there. No, he hasn't. He's changed it. Oh no, he has. Sorry, my mistake. He's got. Oh no, he's got it from there. I actually think that's better. Fits better. Yeah. Okay, he's got it from there, which means we haven't had an overshoot. So maybe we get a correction here now. So yeah, Thomas Wade's got it same as me from that stem there. Touch, touch, touch. I think that's okay. Right from the stem, touch, 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 which means it fits nice at. But we're at the top of the channel anyway, so you'd expect something. See, the only trouble is with, like you say, my funded futures, $75. If you fail it, it's cost you $75 for an evaluation. So from a newbie's point of view, I'd stick with things like your Apexes or just your cheapest evaluations. That's the one thing I'm not a fan about it. So if you blow 3 of them, it's cost you $225. And then if you get the 4th one, it's cost you $300. So I know Take Profit Trader have a good name. And as far as I've heard, Tradeify as well. I've not heard anything bad about Tradeify. Not in 2 days. I don't think you can with my funded futures. Oh, yes, you can. Sorry. It's Take Profit Trader. You've got to do it. I think it's 5 days. So it kind of forces you not to rush. And I kind of like that. And obviously because it's whatever it is, $75, $85, something like that. No, it's a bit more, I think, isn't it? Take Profit Trader. But you don't pay an activation fee. But I like the fact that they do kind of force you to take it a few days. FFN. What's FFN? Funded Futures Network. I've not heard those. Funded Futures Network. Yeah, take profit trade. Yeah, $119, $120. But there's no activation fee. I like the fact, though, at that price that they force you to do it over, I think, 5 days or something like that, because you don't want to be rushing them. You don't want to be rushing it. And I've got to say, I saw the CEO being interviewed on... he's an ex-professional hockey player. I don't know much about hockey, but you guys probably, the US guys do. And I liked how he came over. I think, was it Patrick Whelan interviewed him, and I thought he came over as very professional. But yeah, I'd like to have a go at a couple of Tradeify on the promo. We take profit trade. Yeah, they do have promos now and again, don't they? I've got an affiliate from. I don't think I get much on it, but I know Apex talked about going straight to funded, didn't they? At one point, it was 5 or 6 months ago, but we've not heard nothing. So maybe they've done away with the idea. Okay, so we're still moving up now. If we can get another leg down here, we may get an option. Very smooth to trade with no issues. Yeah, I have heard that. I think you can go straight onto a pro account. Is that as well? I know they have got different accounts where there's. I'm sure they've got an account where there's no. There's no. What do you call it? Consistency rule. I'm sure they've got an account where there's no consistency rule. So I mean, the silly thing is, if you go for a big runner and you get into $2,000 or $3,000, you know, with people like Apex. 30% rule, you get $2,000. You got to get your account to $6,500 when you know, before you can withdraw. That's the one kind of frustrating thing. Now it's 30% with Apex. It's 20%, I think, with Tradeify. But I'm pretty sure Take Profit Trader have some sort of account where you can just run it, because it seems silly, really, that people are coming out of trades early because they're worrying about, you know, running up their consistency rule. Or I think Apex calls it, what do they call it? Gamble or windfall, I think, in the email, if you've earned too much, which I think is worded wrong, personally. Just because you've actually got a big move doesn't mean you're gambling and you're going for a windfall. It just means you're a smart cookie. Yeah, windfall and gamble. It doesn't make sense that. If you get into a second entry here, and you're trading 2 contracts, and you're smart and cool enough to run it up to 30 points, 2 contracts, this $3,000 there, you've got to get your account to nearly $10,000, which you can withdraw. Mind you, if you've got the balls to hold on there for $3,000, I'd say you're probably going to make it relatively easy. But I don't think you should use the word gamble and windfall. Now, if you've gone for 10 contracts and got a bit of a move, then you may call that. But if you've gone for your normal trade, but you've been confident enough and calm enough to hold on and make money, I don't think you should be penalised. Now, I dare say there are people out there who may have 10 accounts and go one at a time and try and capture a big move. But usually they're trying to go for bigger contract sizes. But if you go for your normal contract size, but you catch a move on a trend, you're a smart trader in my eyes. So I don't think they should use words like gamble and windfall. I think it's tarring everyone with the same brush then, isn't it? So I won't be taking a trade here because we've got a channel with 1 push up. We may have a couple of legs down to here. So it's a bit risky taking that, I think. Not only that, it's a little bit congested. You've got that email? Yeah, I have as well. I mean, granted, I probably was gambling there. I probably did go for a bigger move. But when I've been on tilt in the past, I'm not calm enough to go for 1 or 2 contracts. I go for a little bit more. But touch wood, I do a lot less of that now than I used to. So that's a plus. So we've got a leg up with a pullback and a leg up. I'm not taking a trade here at the moment because we've had a channel down with a couple of pushes. It could come down a bit lower. So I'm just sitting tight here. It's risky taking a trade here, I think. Still struggling a bit there, isn't it? Starting to go sideways now, which makes that trade all the more worrying. That's super risky. Trouble is, you got no room to the top. So you'd have to say now that's looking vulnerable. If you want to tick above it, got 1.25, maybe 1.5 at a push. As soon as it starts to go sideways, so I'd like to see this clear any liquidity out. 2 legs down, and that would be kind of a leg and a leg, which is kind of what I'm looking for. Something like that to get us down here to continue on up. 2 attempts to push low, and up we go, hopefully. Now, depending on how you've got this channel, if you've got this channel like that, it may be at the bottom, and Thomas Wade has. A bit unsure about that. See what downs I've got. Yeah, Marco's got his channel like that as well. It doesn't look terrible. Bar's no good to go long. I'm going to put that back to there. I think I prefer that. That will give us a little bit of space to get a second leg down here to this. I prefer that. I think I like the way it touches there. I don't know. I think you've got to take some advice and then kind of make your own decision. Then I've looked at Dan's, I've looked at Thomas Wade's. Just can't do nothing now anyway. Get more runners with higher lows. Yeah, absolutely. I think higher lows and lower highs are way more safer. Because usually, if the second entry doesn't work or the second entry holds and then you get a higher low, usually it's a good indication that we're continuing higher. So, for instance, that little trade there, if there was a higher low there, you would expect that to work, wouldn't you? Unfortunately, we don't always get one. That's the frustrating thing. So, if you've got that channel that fits there, no, I'm still not getting involved in this. It's just choppy as hell at the moment. We're in the middle of this. But I would like a little drop to this line. That would interest me. Okay, I want to push down here because I want to clean out any stops that have been here. And then maybe a fell break out of this. I just wouldn't take that there. It's just, I prefer to get a little bit of a drop. Now, I mean, if you've got your channel and it's skimming this, you might not be bad. But for me, I actually prefer this channel. So I'd like to come down below there. I mean, it is a second entry long. Trouble is, just not interested in any of this at the moment. I want it to drop out the bottom. that'll be a leg and a leg, and then a failed break out of this. Yeah, the trouble is, the more losses you take with second entries, the more you put off second entries. I don't like taking second entries. Now, on that occasion, I do like the fact that we're bouncing off support. But the second entries I'll take, usually, if I take them, are when that bar is snug on the top of there. Usually then, price won't trigger and go lower. That's what I find. I found those much more reliable when the EMA is snug under there, in fact, and especially when it's cleared out any possible liquidity. Those I don't mind, but I kind of have to judge them how I feel. That one I would have had a go at, because I think Mac could jump all over that. Yeah, I want the body, I want the tail to push through it, and then for it close, so it's snug on top of there. Those kind I like. That, like that. The trouble is, there's too much liquidity below here for me to get involved in that, and it's choppy. But you see how it's sat snug there? So it'd be interesting to see where this goes, but it's still choppy. But yeah, I much prefer it when it pushes up. If you look at a lot of the trades I do take, it's when they are snug, it's pushed down below and it's snug tight at that EMA. So look at that one there. See that there? That's the only bar I can see there that's sat snug on top of that EMA, and look what happened. Whoosh, straight up. Not that I'd have taken that one. It's still going along into that EMA, but it's a new extreme for the broken channel. Depends how you've got it. As I mentioned, if you've got your channel like that, you would be going long off the bottom of the channel. So if you're going long here, it kind of fits there. My only concern is when it goes sideways, I expect a little breakout to clear all this lows. Now, you might argue that one did it, but I just don't fancy that bar. It's only a first entry, so a lot of the times, the price will come down, clear all this out before it pushes up. I don't know whether I like that or not. Your voice is kind of relaxing. Try telling that to my wife, mate. She will disagree with you. Mind you, try talking to your wives or your husbands or whatever about trading, and it kind of look like they're interesting, but then you throw them a curveball and talk a load of crap, and they just go, "Yeah, I see." So I speak consistently, take second entries and congestion, always get smoked. Yeah, you learn, mate. Whenever you get slapped on the wrist a few times, you start to learn not put your hand out. So yeah, I don't often take second entries anymore. Usually they're higher lows, I think. Higher lows. Triple tests I kind of like. I don't have a massive luck with failed breakouts, although I do try and monitor them. You know, but really max it 1,000 times. It takes years to get good at this. So I dare say in 2 years, you know, my skill will be better than it is now. But it's good enough now to make money. I just constantly need to work on my taking losses. I'm still not a fan of taking losses. Is anybody? But that's where things can tend to go wrong with me. So we got a breakout there. Let's see if we get a second entry long off here to push this higher. Depends how you've got this channel. Trapping shorts to push up. That doesn't look terrible there. On that chart, trouble is we're nearly at the highs already. I like the fact that we've triggered a short here. Trouble is it's a bit congested now, so tick lower. It's just a bit stacked up, isn't it? It's a bit wicky as well. Usually, see, as we break out, and there's now and again you get people shorting this, and then it kind of triggers them and then pushes up again for a second leg out of it. But I don't like any of this at the moment. So let's have a go at Thomas Wade's channel again, see if I can get... Oh no, that's where he's got it from. Oh no, tell a lie. He's changed his mind. Thomas Wade's changed his mind. I knew he'd swing my way. He's changed his mind. That's good news. Because I prefer that. I just wanted to try it and see if it runs along there. But if we can get a drop here... stacking up now and it's a bit wicky, so I'm not a fan. See, there is a big bullish bar there, so there's going to be liquidity there, so I'd expect this to drop below there. It's very easy to try and find a trade in this, but ultimately it's messy. This is where I've made mistakes before. I put, yeah, there we go, second entry long. And it may well work, you know, there's maybe a few bears trapped here. But ideally, ultimately, it's congested, so it's a lot more dangerous. So sometimes later in the day, I've tried to go, yeah, there's a second entry long, trap bears, this thing's going up and it can sting you. So I think ultimately it looks even more congested on my second chart. So you really don't want to be trading here. The whole thing's congested. And it's very easy to try and make something of this, and it may trigger you, then flush down, clear all of this out, and then touch this line. So it's risky taking a trade right in the middle of here, so I'll be sitting tight here and just ignoring things. See how anybody else is doing. Yeah, this is risky, I think, because it is so choppy. I won't be surprised if it triggers, comes down, stops it out, clears this one, and bounces somewhere here. I get the urge to think, there you go, second entry long, we're on top of this, we're pushing up. But because it's so choppy and there's uncertainty, look what happens. It triggers and starts to move down. Now, it may still hold, it just shut up there, but you won't want to be in that trade, I don't think, especially when it starts to come down towards you. But ultimately, it's congested, so it's a no-no, really. It's a good habit to get into, just staying out of there. It doesn't matter what the setups look like. It's definitely vulnerable, isn't it? Yeah, so if you'd have taken a second entry low off the top of this, look what's happened. It's going to clear that out for sure. Yes, see what I mean? It's so dangerous taking this, especially with that many wicks. So that's gone as well. I wouldn't have taken that one. That's triggered, eventually got down. So it'd be interesting to see where it gets to here. So on this chart, it does look like two legs. You have trapped a big bear bar there as well. I'm just going to sit tight here, I think. Did this year. That's one of the big skills in trading, isn't it? To master, being able to stay out when it's doing this. It is tempting to try and make up. It's something I've done before. I just try and think about how I'm feeling when it's doing this and just keep reminding myself, just sit back, just let it go. You know, let other people get stuck in it and avoid the urge to get in, because this, it's uncertain. A lot of times it'll come back, bounce off here, trap a few shorts and rock it up, but it came back and came back. And now it's targeting these as well. Now we're at the bottom of the channel here, so it may hold, but you'd have to think these are vulnerable now. Well, there you go. And what about this one? Now, is this 2 legs back, a leg back, 2 legs up and a leg back? So it's cleared out any liquidity there. I don't think it'll come down that low. So it'll be interesting to see the reaction. Now we're going to get buyers in here. So sideways, you may call this a failed breakout. Trouble is, it's a small breakout of this, and that worries me. It does look like 2 legs back, but really, to judge that as a penguin style trade, for me, it would have to push above that EMA and close. It's going to get better after 1 PM, is it? "30-minute NQ for context 2. This is testing 21 EMA from below now. Look at that now on this chart. We've had 2 legs down. It's cleared out liquidity. Trouble is it's 25 ticks. Certainly tempting. Not at 30 ticks though. So is there any way I can make this fit? Doesn't look terrible. I know that's a bad trade, to be fair. I'm just not getting in for 29 ticks. Madness, I think. But I think that'll push up. There's going to be shorts trapped there, and there. It is a drop down. It's a breakout of this little range. I think it'll push up and clear this out, but not at that price. It's still congested, but, you know, we have bounced off the bottom. So I would probably expect that to work, but I'm not confident if it's right off here. Bounce, bounce, bounce. I just don't want to take 29 ticks. It's a strong bounce right off the what's it there, right off that support there. So it's cleared out that as well. It's clearing out these as well. So yeah, it's look better on here, not so good on here because it's sat right at the bottom. So I think that was a nice trade, but I just don't want to take a trade for 30 odd ticks. So there's 4 points there, easy. I think that'll go higher. I think it'll continue up. So nice bounce, bounce, bounce. I think Mac, if he had that on his chart, would consider that a triple test. 2 legs down. It's above the EMA. But I'm not interested in a risk that big. Which is the risk? So I tick above. It's about 7 points. 7.5 points. I'm not risking that much. I do think it'll work. Certainly up to those highs. Certainly for 3 points it would have done. That's where I will be out. Yeah, if he's got it, this is my second chart. On here, maybe not so much. But on here, I think it looks better. It's below support there. On this chart, it's sitting beautifully right on it, so you'd expect that to at least push up to these highs, wouldn't you? But this is a different chart, a different 2000 tick chart, so Mac probably won't have that. But there are some traders. I think Archer took it. There's a few traders took it. I just don't like the size of the bar. I don't want to risk 7 points, 7.5 points. It's too much. But look at this now. See, look at this pushing down. I did not expect that. I thought when this thing goes, it's going to continue on, but look. Is it going to break below there, or is that going to hold? They hold. Now, ordinarily, I wouldn't think that was a bad trade, but I didn't expect that to come down. Trouble is, it's just as big as the last one. 31 ticks. What I will say is it's bouncing on all the right places, but I never expected that to come right the way down there. Now, it held, stop held. I think it'd probably go, but 31 ticks. Tick above, tick below. It's madness. It's just too much, I think. And it is a little bit choppy. Although I think strong buying off there and more strong buying off the key entry point. I don't think it's a bad thing. Will Mac mark it? You may do. But Mac only goes for a point. So I just don't want to take a risk that much. I didn't think that would come down like that, but it did. So who knows what's going to happen. Yeah, it has, yeah. I think that's a much better bar I do than that one. So I'd expect that to break these highs. It's two strong moves off there, and the fact that it never stopped below there, I would expect that to break right the way above all this lot. For sure. Especially with two big bounces and a big strong bull bar off there and another one. So I think that'll break that target there. I just don't want to risk 30 odd points, because if I get it wrong, do I don't know. I'm watching. I've got What's Its channel up here, so that might be why what you're hearing. Bart. So that might be what you're hearing. I'll knock his sound off. I just wanted to see what he was doing. I've left it on there. Yeah, it's just Bart. I was just seeing how he was getting on today. So we didn't break the top. We got enough for points, but it's too big a risk for the points. There's 3.5, 3 3/4 there. I think it will break this area. No, I just I clicked onto YouTube about 15 minutes ago just to see how everyone else was doing. So I looked at Nutty, and Bart he trades different, Nutty and Alpine, but Bart trades the same. I think he's down a little bit. Something like. Oh, not much. I'd say I think he's down a bit. Not tell. So we still didn't get above it. That surprised me. That makes it a little bit more worrying. Now we've had a break out the bottom of this. I'm surprised we didn't break out the top. I still think we will. Pat's music. I did ask if anyone wanted me to play some kind of music, but people said they prefer to just hear my voice, which is strange. My wife doesn't say that. So break out the bottom. I expect to break out the top. So this is where I expected to push up, trap some shorts here, and there is a failure there. Now that came down. I didn't expect that, so I'm not getting in here. Although I don't think it's a bad trade if it finishes on its high, because that. Well, yeah, but you wouldn't consider it a failure, would you? Because there's the signal bar. Although I'm a bit on the fence here. I would expect that to work because we've had a break out the bottom of this one, and almost always we have one out the top, and if we do have one out the top, it'll break above any stops here. So if this ends up bullish, I think it'll work. I wouldn't take it because I don't want to be shorting into the top. I did that a week or two ago and lost the trade. So I have got my new rules, and it says specifically do not go long into the top of a range. Don't long into the top, don't short into the bottom. Music or train, will probably sound something like Hendrix. I like a bit of Hendrix, actually. I never really got into Hendrix, and I started listening to it. I heard somebody playing, is it The Wind Cries Mary? On electric guitar. I thought that sounds good. So then you start listening to a bit more then. There's a guitarist, Jamie something, who plays that on guitar. Brilliant guitarist. See, I'm a bit off. I'm a bit sad. I think at Christmas when I was trading on my own, I think on one of my screens I had a crackling fire going and some music, some Christmas music. You know, you can get those on YouTube, them big crackling fires. Playing a bit of music. Sad, I know. So that's not as bullish as I was expecting, but I still think it'll break above here because we've had a break out at the bottom of this range. I expect one out the top. But nothing would surprise me. I didn't see that one coming. Black Sabbath Aussie. I wonder how long he'll last. Yeah, okay, so it's done what I expected it to. 2 legs up, break above this, break out the bottom. The amount of drugs that guy's pumped into his body over the years, I'm surprised he's still going. So finally we've broken above this now. Is this thing going to continue on? You'd have to think so, wouldn't you? You record your trades. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. You can, if you ever do want to do this, probably look a bit of a funky picture at the moment. That's what I'm looking at now. OBS is free. You can download it and just click record. You've got to pick a scene and then add a source, which is a display capture, and then it'll give you your monitors to list. Find the monitor that your main chart's on. And all you've got to do is click record. The beauty about that, if something goes wrong, you've got a little bit of proof then. And it is just good to look back as well if something happens. Sometimes we'll get a quick move and you're not sure what's happened. So if you ever want to do that, it is free to use OBS as well. So it's a useful bit of software. So I have mentioned about recording your trades in the past, especially more when we had rhythmic problems. Because at least you had something to send to Apex and say, look, you know, I clearly did what you told me to. So I think this will continue on for a bit now. Unfortunately, this is kind of where I expected it to push up. We never had a great signal bar, but when this came down, I didn't expect that. So sometimes these can be a bit funky. So the fact that we had a breakout of a range here, I expected one at the top. I just wasn't a massive fan of going along. I did it a week or two ago and it triggered and stung me. So although I thought that would go up, I'm not confident enough to get in it. I will stream eventually when I find a strategy. Streaming is not, you know, I wouldn't put anybody else off streaming. It's helped me. You know, you need any advice or whatever. I've got no issues with anybody if they want to stream. You know, I know some people go, oh, I don't want to encourage people to stream. It's affiliates. No, absolutely. Get yourself affiliate. Make a bit of money as well. It doesn't cost anybody any money to use it. If people watch it and they use your code, happy days. I'd encourage people to stream if they want to. I'd happily sign up to you. I'll encourage you, and if you need any help setting the software up, no problem whatsoever. It's helped me. It's made things easier for me. The fact that there's people watching, you don't want to look like a complete tit. So I think you probably make better trades, and then I certainly feel that way. I found, not so much now, I make a bit better decisions now, but when I started, I'd take stupid trades. I don't know why. Probably just for the fact that, let's give this a go. But I don't think I took it serious enough. But streaming helped me to take it a bit more serious. So I don't think it's a bad idea. Some people talk. Talking for me is just something I do. I know people like Sam and Bart and that, they tend to not. But talking about what I'm seeing kind of helps me figure it out a bit. So, what are we doing now? Are we just retesting the top? And is this thing going higher? I'd like to think it is. But it doesn't really want to, does it? Done for the day. Have a good one. Yeah, you take it easy, pal. So, also some, depending on where you've got this, some may think this is a break and a new high. And the reason I don't think it is because after such a big move, I can't see a little thing like this and then straight to a new high. With such a big move, I'd expect more. Now, it may do because it's going sideways, so that may work. But my gut feeling is it's more likely to be that. But that's just me. If you've got it different, don't listen to me. Do what you think's right. But I could be wrong. So at the moment, that's about as good as I've got. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Let's have a little zoom out here. Yeah, I'm not sure here at the moment. Let's have a look, see what everybody else has got. Okay, so Thomas Wade. Thomas Wade's got that as a small break, so he's just kept that a bit tighter. It's unusual to have such a small break like that and then push straight up. It may be because it's going sideways, so I think it may be a break. Is this coming down? Still a bit choppy, isn't it? So just sit on the fence here. So Dan's got is quite different. He's got something like that, Dan has. I think. No, he's got that like that. What I will say is Dan is about the closest to Matt that I think I've ever seen, so I'll be inclined to listen to that, to sort of use that, I think. Second entry long. It's a bit of a correction, that. So actually, now I've got that there, I don't mind that. So regardless, anyway, we've had a break and a new high, whether you consider breaking 2 pushes up to a new high. So this may be reversing. It's hard to say. It may just start to go sideways a bit more, because at the moment, if you look at this, we've had a break out the bottom and a break out the top. We're still in the middle of this congestion here, so I wouldn't necessarily think this thing was reversing and want to jump into a short at the moment, because this to me is just congestion. Not sure about this. Could move down, or it could bounce again, or it could continue sideways, so it's not super clear. See if Thomas Wade's got it going through there, and he's got a break with a new high. So whatever we're seeing here, I think it's likely we've got a break and a new extreme. So I'm certainly pausing longs just at the moment. I want to see what happens here. Oh, excuse me. Incidentally, the 80% off Apex finishes at midnight Eastern time tonight, so just keep that in mind. I'm guessing they go back to the 50%. It's 11 hours time, so 5, 6, 7, yeah, it'd be midnight. You can see that there. Midnight, I'm assuming Eastern, it's usually Eastern time, so just keep that in mind. My code's down there, UKFT. If you use it or you have chose to use it, it's appreciated. So what I think I'm going to start doing is picking up a few, maybe not now, maybe the end of the month, picking up a few, the 150,000 accounts, I think. I'm going to pick one up for the next, I might pick 2 up for the next CPI. 1 or 2 anyway, and see if I can't get a bit of luck with those. So looking at this on this chart again, we've bounced off there, 2 legs down and a bounce. Now, is that 2 legs or is it a channel? That's the question. Could be a channel, or it could be 2 legs. So I wouldn't know what to do here. So I'm just staying out. Oh, excuse me. Took the bounce, did you? Just having some, I don't know if you can see outside the window, we got some scaffolding up outside the house. we're having some solar panels fitted on Friday, and the scaffolding guys come out yesterday, and they've only put a scaffolding bar across the back cupboard door of the house where my fishing gear is. So I was looking forward to going fishing tonight, but there's a bloody great big scaffolding bar bolted across the door. I don't know why the hell would they do that. Tempted to take the thing down. I just hope it doesn't collapse. So what is going on here? Took on the engulfing bar. That there, you just got enough points, didn't you? I couldn't tell you where I think price is going here. I thought this would continue up. I thought there was a bigger channel, but at the moment it's just bouncing around up and down. It's not clear. I haven't got a clue whether I think this is coming down or whether I think it's going to go up. We have what looks like two legs up. That second leg doesn't look as large as the first one. But I don't know, is there going to be some kind of a larger channel there in time? Hard to say, innit? Who knows? Not sure. I'm sure Mac will enlighten us with something. He may just have that. I think the simple answer is if you can't find one that works, just stick to the smaller stuff. Absolutely, range is still in play, yeah. So, and it's not the best looking range in the world, is it? So you've got to be careful here. It's very easy to get caught into taking trades in here. Now, sometimes they work. I mean, these are certainly easy to trade if you're only scalping a point. I mean, if you took that long there off there, not the worst trade in the world, certainly give you an easy point. And same again, two legs up, little fail breakout. It was an inside bar, but I get the fascination with driving it back in. But, you know, someone like Mac, two legs back, a little bar off here maybe. Could, you know, if you're scalping for a point's nothing in you can even take a crap trade and make a point. Now, it's got to push through, so it's got to go 125. But it's not hard to make that, especially if you know what you're doing. Close your eyes and get that, but... the trouble is these bars are quite large, some of them, so you don't want to get it wrong. Well, if you take that trade and it does backtrack at you, there's 8 points, 8.25 points. Okay, so we're at the bottom. Broke below there. Where are we going now? So we've broken below support there. Will that hold or not? Not an easy day today. It's just a shame I wasn't here for that. I just stepped out for a second. The way it pushes up, comes back. We get a push phase, as Thomas Way calls it. Correction, push, correction, push, correction. That would have worked. Not a huge risk as well. Some of these bars are a lot bigger. I see it as a rejection. Yeah, we have got let's say that again. See, it's having rejection Friday. So I thought we were up here then for a minute. So I'm still thinking bullish at the moment. Push up. We had that little bit of pullback, push up. So I don't know. I don't know what I think. Now, That would be the line in the sand there. So I'm going to adjust that now. So I expect that to break below there, yes. Okay, let's see where it goes now. It's displayed the free prior day. I think I had something. I used to have something. It's there, I think. Oh no, that's the highs of the day prior. Yeah, sometimes when I used to get to my chart, I used to draw a line from the highs to the lows, but I stopped doing it for some reason. In fact, pretty sure I got a little template in here for it. Yeah, yesterday's highs and lows. I used to use one and I stopped kind of doing it. Just now and again, I'll just zoom out and just kind of see, where things are. We passed the lows of the day for the last couple of days. Well, and Friday if you count that. Might be a dry day today. So I had my payment at the bank. It was quick this time. It was cleared and paid in the same day and took 2 days to go into my bank. So yesterday's, I mean, we've pushed through that anyway, didn't we? We didn't seem to have any, I suppose you could argue we had a little bit of support there maybe, but then we pushed straight through it there, just sliced straight through it. So 10,000 tick chart, channel the break at a new low. Where's this thing going? Uh, Oh, what is going on? Interesting to see what a second entry short would look like here. I mean, that looks like a channel to me. So maybe we've had a break, new high, and then this thing's decided to come down. Let's see if we get a second entry. I tell you what, it's funny. Someone mentioned about second entries here. I feel much better taking second entry shorts and second entry longs. Anybody else find that? Whether it's just I've had more success, but I'm quite happy about taking second entry shorts. Second entry longs, I feel really cautious about. I don't know, perhaps I've just had more. Strange, isn't it? They're both kind of the same setup. I just tend to feel way more comfortable taking second entry shorts and longs. Strange. I'll take a second entry short at the top of the move, but won't mention the snapback. Yeah. Yeah, he goes for such a small move, Mac. A point's a very, very tiny move, isn't it? I mean, it really is tiny. Point and a quarter it's got to push through, isn't it? So that would basically be it. It's such a tiny move. It doesn't kind of matter where. If you took a long off the bottom, either one, that one there worked, that one there worked. Yeah, it doesn't kind of matter where you put this. Very, very little will fail really with that. Well, I say that's not strictly true, but if you go in the wrong direction, but it's a tiny move. Okay, I think I'm done for today, folks. I've done 3 hours. I may do another half an hour after my tea. I think I can trade up to about 6:30 UK time. I tend to knock it on the head there. So look, if you carry on trading, good luck to you. I hope we get a setup. Failing that, have a great evening. Stay safe. And it is Thursday tomorrow, isn't it? It's Bank Holiday Monday in the UK, but I'll still be trading. You're welcome, mate. I'll still be trading on Monday, but I don't think it'll be a bit quiet. We had a bank holiday after the Easter weekend and it was fine. So I'll leave you guys to it. Stay safe. Have a great evening. We'll catch up tomorrow. Bye for now.